Welcome back to Little House on Laurel. We just got back from vacation this week, and I also have been feeling a little bit under the weather, and so today I'm just trying to get caught up on fall chores that need to get done around the house and the yard, and I'm going to take you along with me as I get things done. I'm starting by making some sauerkraut. When the weather changes and we don't have quite as many fresh fruits and vegetables, then I like to supplement our meals with some sauerkraut or fermented veggies just to get more probiotics and try to keep our bodies healthier as we go into the cold weather. So I bought 2 large heads of organic cabbage, and that's going to make 3 quart-sized jars of sauerkraut when all is said and done. So I've just cut up 1 head so far, and it's made a large bowl. And I added 1 tablespoon of salt. I mixed the salt in, and then I let it sit for 15 minutes. And now I am mushing up the cabbage to help the juices to squeeze out. The salt helps the juices to start to release from the cabbage, but so does the mashing it up with your hands. So you want to do that until there's a saltwater brine on the bottom. So I tasted it towards the bottom near the saltwater brine, and it didn't taste strong enough. It should taste like salt water. So I added a little bit more. It was a large head of cabbage, so it needed a little bit more salt. So I'm just mixing it in again. I let it sit for a while longer, and now I'm packing it in layer by layer into the jar. You want it to be really well packed in there, and as you pack it with the spoon, that will also release more juices. Because what you're going to want is you want to leave about 2 inches space above the cabbage to pour the brine. The brine needs to cover the cabbage completely so that when it's fermenting, it won't go bad. And now I just put a glass weight on top, and that's to keep the cabbage leaves underneath the brine. And then I've added a top that I got especially so that it's a pickle pipe top, so I don't have to burp the jars. It just releases the air through those little tops. I'm going to let them sit on my counter for 5 to 7 days, and then I'll put them in the refrigerator. Okay, I also started some roll dough last night, and I am making sourdough rolls for dinner to go with our soup. I doubled the batch, but a regular batch is 1/2 cup of active sourdough starter, 1/4 cup sugar. I use sucanat, which is less refined. 3/4 cup warm water, 1/4 cup melted butter, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and 2.5 cups of flour, or just until the dough forms into a dough ball. And so I started the night before and let it rise covered on the countertop overnight. And now I am forming it into 24 rolls. A regular batch makes 12 rolls. So I split it into 4, and then of course each round will get turned into 6 rolls, so we'll have 24 rolls. And then I just roll it in my hands to form it into a ball. These are going to sit out on the countertop covered in a warm place until doubled again, which it really depends on the temperature of your kitchen, but mine took about 4 to 6 hours. I think it was closer to 6 because it's starting to get cooler. You'll bake these in a 350-degree oven for 25 minutes or until golden brown. And one other thing, once you form the rolls, you can brush them with melted butter or coconut oil, and that just helps them get a little bit more golden brown on top. And then you'll let them rise and then bake them once they're doubled. Okay, so I have all these pumpkins that needed to be picked, and we had these growing up on our trellis. So I've cut them all down, cutting the last one. And then I'm going to take them inside and put them on our countertop. They need to be in the 70s for about a week so that they can harden and be ready for storage through the fall and winter. After they're hardened, I'll put them in my cold pantry, and hopefully they'll make it through most of the winter. But I love these sugar pie pumpkins. They're great for baking and making things with pumpkin puree. And then I have all of these flowers, these dahlias that have been growing all summer. They're beautiful, and I'm not sure how much longer they're going to last. I actually, before we went on vacation, they were starting to all get kind of brown, and I didn't think that they'd be around when I got back. So I was surprised, but they look really beautiful. And so I wanted to pick at least another bouquet before the cold weather hits us really hard. It's been down into the 40s at night, so I'm just waiting for us to get our first frost. Our frost date is October 15th here in Eastern Washington, which is just a couple of weeks away. So it's getting close. Anyway, I like to pick these and then I take off all of the leaves. So it's just the stem and the flower, which I really like in my floral arrangements. And then you can always add in some greenery later if you want. You can use fresh herbs as greenery. I just find that it's way easier to do an arrangement without having all this clutter in the vase. So I simply just pull them off unless there's like another little stem coming off, and then I clip that so it doesn't break the main stem. I bought a mix this year and had a lot of fun different colors. There's oranges and salmon and lighter pink and fuchsia, yellow. Yeah, it's been really fun. So I have never taken a floral arranging class. I've just been figuring this out myself as I go, and I think that it looks nice. So hopefully other people do too. But I kind of just gauge what to cut it to, and then I stick it in to the vase, and if it's not right, I take it out and cut it a little bit shorter. I do start with the water in there already, because if you get your floral arrangement just right and then you realize you don't have any water in there, you have to take everything out and hope you can get it back to how it was. So I just try to vary where I have the larger flowers versus the small ones, and then I try to spread out the colors so there's a good variation of colors next to each other. The neat thing about dahlias is that you can just see the different variety, that some of them only have like one layer of petals, and others just seem to be like very thick, I guess. They just have multiple layers and they're beautiful. Oh, while you're watching this, I just wanted to tell you about a freebie that I have that you can get. It's a holiday baking checklist, and it will help you make sure that you're stocked up on everything you need so you can do your from scratch baking this holiday season coming up. So you can get that at bit.ly, that's bit.ly/holiday baking checklist. I have a lot of holiday sourdough recipes over on my blog, as well as some videos here that I will link to. What fall chores have you been trying to get done before the weather turns really cold? I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and leave me a comment below and let me know what you've been up to. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I have new videos every week with farm fresh recipes and simple living ideas to help you on your journey to a healthy and happy home. I will see you next week. Bye.